ahli apa sih? Lalu dia nulis ada 7 skills yang kita harus kuasai dan kita harus ahli di 7 skill itu supaya bisa jadi profesional di network marketing. Itu ada di buku GoPro. Nanti kita akan ada book club, GoPro book club. Jadi saya akan rekam, teman-teman dengerin terus kita diskusi. Nah, sementara itu bagian yang penting juga dari buku ini adalah tentang memory jogger, karena ketika orang memulai network marketing banyak yang bilang, tapi gue nggak punya banyak teman atau network gue sedikit banget. Nah, memory jogger ini sebenarnya ngajarin kita gimana kita bisa bikin list sebanyak-banyaknya, karena sebenarnya kita kenal banyak orang. Buktinya apa? Coba lihat teman kamu di Facebook ada berapa. Kalau teman kamu lebih dari 100, kamu bohong kalau bilang kamu nggak punya teman. Kayak gitu. Nah, sekarang kalau kita udah punya list, sebenarnya gimana caranya supaya kita bisa mulai mengontak mereka. Nah, di buku ini kita akan belajar, di training ini kita akan belajar. Jadi intinya di sini Aerocore bilang kalian nggak akan berhasil di network marketing kecuali menjadi seorang profesional. Nah, menjadi seorang profesional itu apa? Atau bedanya profesional dengan yang nggak profesional itu apa? Jadi dia ngebagi 3 nih orang-orang yang kerja di network marketing. Jadi ada poster, ada amatir, ada profesional. Nah, poster ini mungkin 6 bulan pertama saya di Usana saya poster. Jadi poster ini orang yang hari ini serius, bikin list, terus ngubungin orang-orang itu, terus habis itu berhenti dan berharap orang yang mereka hubungin dan udah join kemudian berhasil. Tapi kemudian nggak setiap hari nambah listnya, nggak setiap hari kontak orang, nggak setiap hari follow up orang. Kalau ketika kita bilang bahwa network marketing itu memberikan kebebasan waktu dan finansial, enggak, ketika kita join kita udah bebas. Sama seperti ketika orang kerja, kita harus datang jam 9 sampai jam 5. Nah, bedanya di network marketing, kita kerja, tapi kita yang nentuin kita mau kerja berapa jam, mau kerja di mana. Kalau kita punya usaha sendiri, sebelum usaha kita dikasih ke orang lain, kan kita harus bangun dulu sampai berhasil kan. Nah, di network marketing juga begitu. Jadi orang-orang yang poster ini adalah mungkin orang-orang yang 1 bulan semangat, 3 bulan semangat, 6 bulan loyo, setahun berhenti. Berhentinya apa? Berhentinya karena dia bilang, oh ternyata susah, gue nggak bisa, ternyata nggak berhasil. Padahal itu karena mereka belum jadi profesional. Mereka cuma hari ini semangat, besok enggak, hari ini semangat, besok enggak. Profesional itu artinya setiap hari konsisten melakukan apa yang dilakukan. Nah, yang kedua itu ada amatir. Nah, amatir ini kayak naik pangkat nih dari si profesional. Jadi dia tahu dia harus setiap hari. Mungkin aku kalau bisa bilang aku masih amatir sekarang. Jadi aku bisa 5 hari semangat bikin list, bikin tracking. Jadi aku biasa tulis hari ini aku hubungin orang baru berapa, follow up orang yang kemarin aku follow up berapa, ngubungin timku berapa. Tapi ntar habis 5 hari, minggu depan seminggu nggak ngapa-ngapain. Atau aku ngubungin orang tapi nggak nyatet, gitu. Jadi setengah-setengah. Nah, ini juga nggak akan bisa bikin kita bertahan karena justru dengan kita nggak setiap hari melakukan, kadang-kadang kita down. Padahal ketika kita ngeliat list, gila kemarin gue ngubungin 5 orang, hari ini gue mau ngubungin 10 orang. Begitu, kita lihat lagi, oh kemarin gue ngubungin 10 orang, hari ini gue 15 orang. Jadi sebenarnya ketika kita nulis dan kita nge-track, kita kayak memacu diri kita sendiri untuk besoknya lebih lagi. Dan mudah-mudahan dengan adanya kelas ini, kita bisa saling memotivasi karena kadang-kadang aku setiap minggu masih coaching sama Nathan. Kadang-kadang ketika aku 2 minggu nggak ada laporan, jadi setiap minggu tuh aku harus laporan sama dia. Minggu kemarin tuh aku kontak orang berapa gitu. Gitu aku datang nggak bawa laporan, dia bilang oke, kamu duduk kontak orang, ditongkrongin kayak gitu. Jadi ada nggak sih orang yang punya usaha tapi harus dimandorin sama orang lain supaya usahanya berhasil? Kita pengen usaha kita berhasil nggak? Seharusnya yang mandorin diri kita siapa? Kita sendiri kan. Nah, beruntung nih kita ada teman-teman yang sama-sama pengen berhasil dan sama-sama mau duduk untuk melakukan hal yang sama. Nah, kita masuk ke profesional. Semuanya sih mudah-mudahan kita akan jadi profesional. Profesional itu apa? Sama kayak kalau kita ngomongin pegawai masuk jam 9 pulang jam 5. Kalau profesional dia mengerjakan apa yang dia harus kerjakan untuk mendapatkan bayaran. Artinya kita sebagai profesional network marketer itu melakukan apa yang harus kita lakukan untuk berhasil. Nah, apa yang harus dilakukan oleh seorang profesional network marketing? Membuat list, kontak orang, undang orang, presentasi, follow up, closing. Jadi 7 itu. Untuk jadi seorang profesional kita harus menguasai 7 itu dan melakukan 7 itu. Training ini akan ngebantu kita untuk menguasai. Tapi juga kemudian kita akan ada gathering seminggu sekali untuk melakukan apa yang kita pelajari, supaya kita nggak cuma menguasai, tapi kita mendapat result dari apa yang kita lakukan.
Okay. So just stay here with me because I want you to help me. Okay, so how many people, by a show of hands, feel like you're in the poser category? Okay, and how many people feel like you're an amateur? Okay, and how many people feel like you don't have to be a diamond director, right? But you have the network marketing professional mindset. Okay, so I want to be clear. So the difference is a poser is somebody who is hoping for someone else to build their business. And they feel like when they run out of their personal contact list, that's the end of their business. Success is only possible for them if they get a few people out of they make a list of 10 people, and if the people join, then it's possible for them to have success, and if they don't join, they're going to fail, and then they end up quitting. Does that make sense? This is why a lot of you will find many people join network marketing and then they quit. The reason why people quit is because they have the poser mentality. And they have the poser mentality because no one shows them the difference. Okay? So the amateur goes one step more. Okay? So most of us are in the sort of amateur category, which means you know how to make a list, and maybe you're randomly messaging people every day. Like when it pops into your mind, oh, I'll message this person. And it pops into your mind, oh, I'll message this person. And maybe you go on social media and you're scrolling every day, and then every once in a while you will message someone like that, right? That's most people. Yeah, I see smile of recognition. Yeah. So a network marketing professional is a little bit different. So generally you have time booked out every day to do what's called your DMO. Okay, today we're not going to go into the DMO. We're going to be doing this training each week, and we're going to go a little bit deeper each week. So we're going to teach you, a DMO is a daily method of operation. So a professional is someone that builds their business intentionally. Okay, you're a busy person who has a lot going on in your life. Maybe you have kids, maybe you have another business. You have a lot going on, but you can be a network marketing professional working 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day. So in that time, what you're doing is you're building your list. Okay, and you're not scrolling on Facebook. You go on Facebook, you know what you're looking for, you find people, right? You connect with those people and you send them a message straight away. Okay? And the network marketing professional knows they don't need anyone to build their business for them. Does that make sense? They have, yes?
I just have 10 hours a week.
Yeah.
For doing news and so according to your statement, I cannot become a professional.
No, you can.
Okay, just 10 hours a week.
So what we tell people is you can be a network marketing professional working 10 to 15 hours a week, no problem. The difference is when you have the network marketing professional mindset, you can get, in 1 hour, you can get a ton of work done. And that's what we're going to show you today, is actually in 30 minutes, you can contact 15 people a day, 20 people a day, no problem. But you have to be very intentional with your time. Say you have 1 hour, and the hour, most of the hour, you're scrolling through, trying to figure out, try to find people, is this person okay? That's going to waste a lot of your time. But if you know how to do it the right way, you can get on Facebook, for example, go into one of your groups, identify 10 people, friend them, send them a short message that we're going to show you today, and then boom, you're done. So when you get really good, you can do that in 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, like that. So 10 hours a week is plenty to become a network marketing professional. It's plenty. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mungkin ini bukan soal berapa jam ya, tapi apakah kita akan melakukan setiap hari apa yang harus dilakukan. Jadi ada yang kayak aku bilangnya diriku full time nih di network marketing, tapi bisa jadi 3 hari nggak ngapa-ngapain sebenarnya. Jadi yang dimaksud profesional adalah kalau kita misalnya punya cuma 10 jam seminggu, oke. Aku akan punya 2 jam untuk network marketing setiap minggu. Aku tahu dalam 2 jam itu aku mau ngapain. Bikin list, kontak orang, follow up orang, training team, it's a lot. Ketimbang yang ngerasa dirinya full time tapi jalan-jalan, nonton video tapi nggak ngapa-ngapain kayak aku. Jadi ini bukan soal jamnya, tapi apa yang kita lakukan dengan jam itu.
Yeah, so the big difference between an amateur and a professional is the mindset. A professional knows they don't need anyone to build their business. Because of now in the 21st century with social media, there's never a shortage of people, ever. You can go on Facebook, Instagram, there's millions of people, LinkedIn, there's millions of people everywhere, okay? We moved to Indonesia, we didn't know a single person, we didn't know the language at all, and we built a big organization. Why? Because we know these basic principles. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Okay, according to your statement, so network marketing in Robert Kiyosaki definition, in quadrant business or self-employed?
No, so you're in the big business, yeah, because you're building a team.
Okay.
The difference between the B and the S is the S works alone.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
So the poster is in self-employed unit.
Right, they have the same mentality.
Okay.
They have to do it all on themselves. Yeah. Whereas the professional knows they're building their business themselves, but also with a team. So the best thing that you can do as a network marketing professional is teach your team how to do these things. And then they'll be running on their own as well. Does it make sense? Okay. I wanted to show you I can show you guys my Excel file. Not my taxes. Why is not showing up on my contact list? Oh, it's Excel. Okay, well, I'll do that at a different time. But you can use Excel or you can use a piece of paper. For those of you who have can you show me this book? So for those of you who have the Ultimate Memory Jogger, this is something that Wendy has been gracious enough to actually translate into Bahasa. Okay, in here it teaches you how to make your contact list and how to track them. Okay, so say for example you have here a place where you have their name. How do you know the person? what their phone number and email is, some notes about that person, so you can actually track your activity. Okay, so it's very important that you do that, because if you're doing this the right way every single day, and you're being a network marketing professional, the number of people that you'll be talking to will be a lot of people, and you'll forget them. Okay, does anybody have any questions about that so far? Okay, so how many people want to become a network marketing professional? Okay, everybody, good. So what we want to do each week is we're going to teach you a little bit more about what to do as we go along in the process, okay? So Mr. Daniel's going to come up and go through, for those of you who have the memory jogger, in there is also a 7-step process, okay? Now, just so you know, the GoPro is a book that was written by a guy named Eric Worre, okay? We're going to be doing a book club soon where we're going to be going through that book as well. A lot of people consider it the Bible of network marketing, the main text for network marketing. It really teaches you the 7 skills for being a network marketing professional. The first one is how to invite people to come and look at your opportunity. Okay, now the process that we're going to show you today is actually for being on the phone. Okay, so Daniel's going to go through this process, and then we're gonna tweak the process a little bit to show you how to do it over text messages as well.
Good afternoon. Okay, great. So I'm going to be going through the 7 steps to inviting people, and then afterwards we can look at the Indonesian version for the first 3 steps. So who has this book, which is amazing, by the way? This is really cool. Who has this book here today? Okay, quite a few. Perfect. Simrandeep, the experts in this already. So perfect. So step 1 is to do with being in a hurry. So for me, I sometimes forget this step, but it's really, really important. So whether you're on the phone with somebody, or whether you're talking to them in person, or maybe just meet them in a restaurant, it's important to remember the first step, and I'm going to get you to give a couple of reasons why, then I'm going to give my reason. So the first step in inviting someone is, before you even message them, is in your mind to be in a hurry. So without looking in the book, someone not Simrandeep, why is it important to be in a hurry? Why is it important to be in a rush when you speak to somebody? Does anyone have an idea?
So they feel the urgency.
Okay, great. So that's perfect. So they feel the urgency. So one of the reasons that you want to be in a hurry, you want to be rushing when you speak to someone, is because you want them to feel urgency, that what you've got to say is important and that you're a busy person. But the hidden reason why you really want people to know that you are in a hurry is because then they won't ask you lots of questions. So for myself, when I speak to people in public, or when I'm messaging someone, if I don't tell them that I'm just going to the gym, or I'm just picking up my kids, or yeah, I can chat, but I can't chat now, I've just got a presentation. If you don't tell them that you're in a hurry, they're going to ask you all of the questions. So say we want them to meet Mr. Nathan, or we want them to meet Mia, or one of your coaches. If you're not in a rush, they're happy just to keep asking you questions for the next 2 hours from Instagram, instead of committing to making a meeting, coming to the office, meeting you at Starbucks, watching a video. So it's really, 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 really important to let them know that you're busy. So one is your posture. You're important, you have value, your time is important. We all value Regina's time, right? We know that if she, with her responses, it's okay if she doesn't respond straight away. She's super busy, and we're polite and respectful to her time. We want people to be polite and respectful to your time, okay? So this is it's a hidden one that's really easy to forget, but being in a hurry makes a huge difference, especially when you're meeting people face to face or over the phone. Cool. So step 2 is compliment the prospect. So why is complimenting people important? Who's going to share? I'll get 2 of you to share. Why is complimenting someone important? Wendy, why is complimenting someone important?
Because they feel respect or respectful.
That's right. You feel respected. And if someone gives you a compliment, if I say, Mia, your blouse looks lovely, you look so feminine today, how does that feel when someone gives you a compliment? Yes. So that's the reason. So if you give someone a compliment, they are more open to you. So if you are speaking to someone and you have to give a real compliment. If someone is very skinny like me, and then Nathan says, wow, you must go to the gym 5 times a week, your muscles are so big. I'm going to be like, what's this guy on? What does he want? Or why is he trying to say something that's not true? So it's really important to give a genuine compliment. So he might say something like, oh, Daniel, I really appreciate that when you're with people, you always want them to be happy and smiling. That's something that I like doing. Or maybe it's with Deep. Maybe, oh, I really appreciate how much you care about people. Or how many favors you do for people. Or Eva, I appreciate how often you go to the office and you do favors for your team. Anything like that, if you give a real compliment, people will feel that you know who they are. And also, then they're going to be open. So when you go meet strangers, if you say, oh, can I buy you a coffee? They're like, sure. Then they're open to hearing what you got to say. But giving a real compliment, it makes a huge difference. So you're in a rush, you give a compliment. By doing that, they're going to be open to a conversation. But it has to be real. So some of the scripts that we've got in a bit, it's rigid. It says what to say, but you have to put your own compliment. If someone is great with money, if someone is a really good parent, if you know that they care about their health, if they have a really good looking Instagram, all of these things are things that you can comment on. Okay? Step 3 is to make the invitations. That's what going to be the main focus of what we're going to go through in a bit. So there's going to be some big steps to go through. So I'm going to skip that step quickly and then go through the rest, and then we can come back to number 3. So the next is that what happens if you send people messages on Instagram, but you don't make an invitation to meet them? Nothing, right? If you don't ask someone to join Usana, no one's going to join, right? And lots of us, at the end of meetings, we don't ask people to join. Sometimes even me, I used to be a sales manager, even I sometimes am nervous to ask people to join. It's important to ask people to join, it's important to ask people to meet. So I'll go through that in a bit more. Step 4 is my favorite part of this. So who here has children? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, great. Okay, so with children, how easy is it to get them to tidy their room? Is it easy? Normally not so much. But if you said, if I give you a huge bowl of ice cream, would you clean your room? Are they more likely to say yes? So if I do something for you, would you do something for me? It's an exchange of value. It's not saying, meet my coach, or join my business.
Watch my video.
Watch my video. So if I do something for you, would you do something for me? So if I send you a video about the background of Usana, would you watch it? If I organize my mentor from America to meet you, would you meet him for coffee? If I bought you a latte, would you meet me at Starbucks? If I buy you a drink, would you go on a date? If I make your favorite dessert, would you clean your room? So if I would you, it's very simple, but it's really, really powerful. This was Eric Worre's magic phrase. This is the phrase that he used for years without people knowing, and it had people say yes. So next, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. If I went through it again, would you learn more? No? Next one. Okay. Number 5 is get a commitment. So when we first moved here, I was on social media a lot, messaging people. And then people would make a time to meet people, and then lots of them wouldn't show up. And I didn't understand what's wrong with Indonesians. In England, if you make a meeting, it's 9 o'clock is 9 o'clock. Why do they show up at 11 o'clock? Blah, 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 blah. That's quite common out here. But the next steps is what stops that happen. Do they have the phrase flaking out here? You make a meeting and then they don't show up. In England, it's called flaking. So you need to get a time commitment and confirm that time commitment. Otherwise, it's not real. So even when I just said that, a few of you just said the words yes. You just kind of you said the words yes, but it just comes out of your mouth automatically. If you say, oh yeah, shall we meet up for coffee next week? The person will say yes, but it's not a real meeting. It's not fixed. They're being polite, or it's just the right thing to do. It's not actually fixed in the diary. So one thing that the girls are really good at, Nathan is really good at, is getting people, you send them an email invite for Google Calendars, and then you have the person reply. So that's a really good thing to do. If you send them an email invite, they see that you're professional, even if it's your friend or your buddy, especially if they're meeting your coach. So get the time commitment. So you can give 2 times. So you find out your coach's time, when are they free, or if they're very like high level person, you know they're busy, then ask them for a couple of times, but don't just give 1 time. If you give 1 time, then what happens if they're busy? Yeah, it doesn't happen, and you have to ask them again. If that time doesn't work, you have to ask them again. So if you give them 2 times, then they can choose 1, and if not, then they will tell you a time that's good. But if you just give 1 time and it doesn't work, what happens is then they feel like you're chasing them. So if you give 2 times, or you ask them, when is a couple of good times that work for you, then they're giving their time commitment. But the important bit here is number 6, is to reconfirm the time. So if you do step 5, but don't do step 6, there's an 80% chance that it's not going to happen. So lots of us do step 5, and then we turn up at the meeting, and then they don't show up. But we're not doing the 6 and the 7. So the reconfirmation is super important. So, okay, so when's a good time to catch up? Mr. Nathan is free tomorrow at 5 o'clock or Wednesday at 6 o'clock for our Tel Aviv party. Which time works best for you? Okay, 7 o'clock. Okay, so we're gonna, or 6 o'clock on Wednesday. Okay, so you're gonna come on Wednesday to Monado Gems Estate, which is actually Tower B, level 14. Try come a little bit early if you want. Nathan's time is quite important. So we'll see you again, right? On Tuesday, blah, 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 Wednesday, 6 o'clock? Yes. So you want to get as many yeses as possible out of their mouth. You want 3 yeses. Okay, great. Step 8 is you've got to get off the phone. Great, I've got to run. I'm going into a meeting. I've got to go meet the owner of a gym. I have to go do something really important, or just drop off my kids or something. And then, okay, so yeah, I've got to run out. So I'm going to see you again at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. And yeah, the number we won't need at this stage. When it's booking a meeting, come to the office. When it's a message, you want to confirm, if you're booking a meeting, how are you going to do the meeting? Is it a Zoom meeting? Is it a video call from Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it a coffee meeting? You have to get clear on the exact time, location, and method. Make sense? Okay, and get off the phone. So step 1 and step 8, like most people, it doesn't cross their mind, but you've really got to be in a rush and you get off the phone. If you don't get off the phone, they're going to ask you lots of questions. And if we're new, we don't know how to explain Usana as well as our coaches. So we have to meet our coaches. The video will explain better than we can explain. So we talk less, we follow the steps, and then we get off the phone. Luar biasa? Anyone have any questions about this? Okay, what's one thing that you learn? What's one thing that you learn about this? I'm looking at you.
Invite.
Yeah, and what do you learn?
So I learned many things about them. Invite people. and get their numbers, hurry up right away
Yes,
and make a meeting.
that's right. Perfect. So yeah, what I get from going through this is, yeah, I don't follow this process enough. I forget the being in the rush. So if I forget this first step, then I'm on my WhatsApp all the time. And I feel like I'm being productive, but I'm not being productive, I'm being busy. So then if I look at how many people I contacted, I think, oh, I've been doing it for 2 hours. I must be really productive. But I only spoke to 5 people. I could have sent them 5 videos and saved myself an hour of my life. So it's important to go through these steps. Okay, great. What's one other thing that someone can add that they haven't been doing? Yeah.
To give to option time, and usually it takes long because can you meet me this time? No, I cannot. I will go back and forth
Yes.
just to rent time. I think having to.
Yeah, I like the giving 2 options, and that it can be Thursday 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock, or it can be on 2 different days. But it also shows that you're busy and you value your time. So if you value your time, people won't mess with your time.
Yeah, it's also really important when you're booking the meeting. Don't ask people when they're available. Don't ever do that, because your chances to get the appointment will go way down. Because somebody like me, for example, I have a lot of things going on in my life, right? So if you ask me, when are you available? My immediate response will be, I'm not. I'm busy, right? Because if you ask me that question, I have too many things going on. I don't want to deal with answering that question, right? But if you say, Nathan, are you available on Wednesday at 5 or Thursday at 7? Then I can just look in my calendar and see, am I available? And I can say, yes, I am. Or no, I'm not, okay? But when you give them 2 options, you're taking all of the thinking away from them. If you say to someone, when are you available? You've just given them a lot of work to do. And they'll immediately, it creates frustration for the other person. Like, does that make sense? So when you say, are you free on Tuesday at 5 or Thursday at 6, it takes all the work away from the other person, and they're much more likely to say yes. Does that make sense? It's very important. The other thing that Dan touched on, which I think is extremely important, and which I can't say to you guys enough, use a scheduling system. Use a calendar. Okay, I use Google Calendar. There's different calendar applications, but use a calendar. Okay, so if you look at my schedule each day, it's color-coded, right? And the day is mostly booked out. Okay, but there's a couple of reasons why using a calendar is really important. Just like here, instead of getting a time and a number, get a time and get the person's email. Hey John, you set the time. Okay, we're gonna meet next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Okay, now you might feel like you're repeating yourself a lot here. So if they say, I'm available at 6, next Tuesday at 6, you say, okay, so you're available next Tuesday at 6 p.m., right? So you're repeating yourself. It may seem weird at first, but just trust it's very important. And if they say yes, say, great, I'm looking forward to seeing you then. What's your best email? Okay, you don't have to say why, just ask them, what's your best email? And they will give it to you. 9 times out of 10, they'll just immediately give you their email. They might say why afterwards, but they'll give you your email. And what you do is, when you have a calendar application, okay, so if Mia wants me to come to an event on the 29th at 5 p.m., okay, what she does is she sends me a calendar invitation. Okay, and then I accept the calendar invitation, and now it's also in my scheduler. Does that make sense? So it does a couple of things. One, it makes you seem like a very professional person. Okay, this is what professional people do. They use schedules, and they schedule out their time. So if you're someone who's asking for their email, you get their email, you send them a calendar invite. Okay, so A, it makes you seem very professional. B, the chances of that person not showing up go way down. Okay, because just like Dan said, they've said yes like 2 or 3 times when you're messaging them, and you've now put the appointment in their scheduling system, and they've said yes, they're going to get an email, which they have to then go in and accept the appointment. Okay? That makes it a very real appointment for the person. Okay? And it helps you become more professional. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So please start using a scheduling system. Okay? It will take away a lot of your stress, and it will help you become much more effective at booking appointments.
I have one more thing to go through. So one more thing that's not in this, but from my sales background that they talk about, is when you're on the phone to someone, when you're about to call them, or even when you message somebody. Actually, I'll phrase this differently. Do you have any friends who you know what sort of mood they're in by the way that they send you text messages? So some of you might have friends. When they text you, even though the words is just normal words, you know that they're in a rush, or you know that they're stressed, or you know they're in a great mood. You can kind of sense their energy just from their messages. So some of us in this room have a tendency to be frantic and to be rushed. And then at other times, say we just finished yoga or Zumba or something like that, we're all like chilled out. Or when we're on the couch, we're like, hey, yeah, cool, everything's good. But then you just finished your work or you're stuck in traffic and then your messages are too fast. Before you call someone especially, but also when you're messaging someone, you want to breathe twice and then smile. So I used to work in call centers. My friend was an amazing manager of a call center. He would have everyone smile when they started to call. And he looked at all the stats, and the number of appointments and then the number of sales that came with it were huge. The difference was like massive, just from smiling when you're on the call. Even when you're text messaging, you can choose to put yourself in a good mood. Nathan can tell when I'm grumpy, even though my words are the same. So one of the things that nice with these scripts that we're going to go through in a bit is you can just copy and paste. But if you're going to send a long message or a few messages within like 2 seconds, bam, 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 if someone is looking at it and they see the messages, they're like, whoa. So you have to be appropriate to how you're speaking and appropriate to how you're listening. So it's a little thing, but it makes a huge difference. Okay? Sounds good. So Mr. Nathan is going to speak next.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, so this is something that's, we don't have to do this, okay, but it's something that I thought might be interesting. So what ultimately we want to do is we want to have these meetings every single week where we have like contacting and inviting sessions, okay? I would love 1 month from now for the whole room to be full of people and for us to turn music on and to really have fun and to get like a lot of energy going, okay? So one thing I was thinking, if you guys want, we could have like each week, we can have a contest where everybody puts in 10,000 rupiah or 20,000 rupiah, something like that. And what we're gonna do during the contacting session is you're gonna get points, okay? So every time you send a video, you get 1 point. Every time you book a call with your mentor at another time, you get 2 points. Anytime you schedule an actual meeting, you get 2 points. Sorry, 1 point, 1 point, 2 points. And then at the end of the session, we add up the points, and whoever has the most points takes home the pot of gold. Okay? So how many people would be interested in doing something like that? It's okay if you don't. Just okay. So is anybody not interested? Doesn't think that that's something that they want to do? You don't have to do it.
No, I'm interested.
Okay. So what we'll do next week, we'll have a sign-up sheet when people come, and then we'll get your deposit. You don't have to put in the deposit if you want, but anybody that plays the game can go in to win the thing. So part of that is, one, it creates fun, and the second thing is it makes you more intentional. Yeah, because it gives you a carrot. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's something that we'll do, and then the rules are it must be a new person. Okay, so not someone that you've talked to before. It doesn't mean you don't. It doesn't mean that the person has to be someone you don't know. It just means someone that you haven't talked to about USANA yet. So it could be your aunt. Okay, but maybe you haven't talked to your aunt about USANA before, and when you're here, you message, "Hi, Auntie. You know, I have something exciting that I want to talk to you about." Boom, you send them a message, and then what we can do to make it even more exciting is you can say, "Hey, Auntie, I have something exciting that I want to talk to you about. Do you have 5 minutes? Free." And if you do that and they say yes, you can call them right there, and one of us, one of the leaders, will speak to your family member for you. Right? So we can actually get you in action right away, booking appointments and creating appointments like that. Does that make sense? Okay. And then at the end, obviously what you'll have to do is show proof of what you've been doing, right? You can't just say, "Oh, I booked 10 appointments." You have to actually show. Okay? So that's the game that I'd like to play. Just go down a little bit. Now today we're just going to touch on one more thing before we actually get started, and it's something called FAM. Okay? So first we're going to talk about how do you prospect in cold market? Okay? When we say hot market, it means people that you already know. People that you have a good relationship with. Warm market is people that you're familiar with. Maybe they're not like a friend, but they're somebody that you know of. Maybe they go to your kid's school or something like that, right? And then cold market means you've never met them before. Okay? Somebody that you get on Facebook or you get on LinkedIn or you get on Instagram and you've never met them before, but you connect with the person and then you send them a message. Okay? Now, when you first start in USANA, okay, or maybe you've been in the business for a while, but you haven't talked to the people that you know, your hot market is the place where you're probably going to get the most customers or the most people to actually say yes because they trust you. You have that relationship. Okay? Some people are scared to talk about people that they know. Okay? So if that's you, that's okay. Okay, you can also do the cold market, but at some point you have to talk to the people that are in your life as well, right? A lot of times you'll find people they just know you and they love you, and so they'll try the products just because they're proud that you've started a new business and they want to support you. But if you're doing cold market, this is what you want to follow. FAM. Okay? That means find, add, and message. Okay? Something that's very important, and it's a huge mistake that I used to make all the time, is I would go and friend people on Facebook or Instagram, and I say to myself, okay, I need to friend 10 new people every day, because that's what I was taught. I was taught that if you really want to grow fast, 10 new people every day. So I would go and I would friend 10 people, okay? But then I would forget to do this part. Okay, I would say to myself, I'll message them later. Right? I'll just make friends with them now and I'll message them later. It doesn't work. Okay, so in this process, you want to find new people, okay, based on common interests, and then you add the person or you connect with them, and then you have to message them right away. Okay? And we're going to show you a very simple message that you can send to anybody that's extremely effective. Okay? So it's very simple. Okay? It may seem too simple, but this is it. It's very simple. You find, add, and then message right away. Okay? Now this is a part that you have to work on a little bit in your own time, and it's something that will get easier for you as time goes on, and that is finding new people. Okay? If Kiki's a yoga instructor, right? So a really good target market for her is other yoga instructors or people that like yoga. They don't have to be yoga instructors. okay? Because she immediately already has a common interest with that person, okay? If I go to church, or I'm somebody that likes tennis, or anything, board games, it doesn't matter. Whatever your hobbies are, whatever the things that you like doing, find people that also like doing what you like doing, because that connection is there. Does that make sense? Now, the beauty about LinkedIn and Instagram is you can actually use hashtags to search anything. So, for example, if you put in hijabers runners, okay, that may seem really specific. I've done this. It works. So you put in, hashtag Indo runners or hashtag anything. It will bring up different communities or different people who are using that hashtag. Okay, you can very specifically identify people that have interests like you do. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is find people that you have some sort of connection with, add them, and then message them right away. Make sense? Okay. So the step 2 is actually sending the initial message. Okay? Now ultimately, this wording is my wording. Okay? Dan was saying earlier, everybody talks a little bit differently. Okay? So you want to use this basic structure, and you can change it a little bit based on the way that you talk, right? Some people like to use emojis and little winky faces, and if you want to use those types of things and change it up to fit your style, that's okay. Okay? But you want to keep the basic structure. So say I meet a new person on Instagram, and his name is John. Okay? Hey, John, hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out to you because I've been following your, and then whatever platform you're on, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, your LinkedIn profile, and your content is amazing. Okay? So like Dan said, you have to compliment them in the first sentence to catch their attention. Okay? Now, this is very important because if you don't do this the right way, 2 things can happen. You can go into Instagram or Facebook jail. If you send the same message to everybody all the time, you can get in trouble. Okay? So the second thing is you have to personalize it so the other person feels like you're actually paying attention to what they're doing. Okay? This is very, very important because you can actually build a connection with someone very quickly if they feel like you get who they are, right? So if I say, for example, hey John, your content is amazing. I love that you take your kids with you to the park, or I love that you're really into CrossFit and you're posting it online, or I love that you have your own juice business and you're using social media to help you grow. Something that is very specific to them that you could only know if you're actually paying attention to what they're doing. So during the finding process, you want to go through their profile, like a number of their posts, and really get to see, okay, who is this person? What do they form, right? Family, occupation, message, recreation, okay? Figure out who is the person, and then you want to put that right into the message, okay? So that's number 1, is a compliment and a real compliment. Exactly what Dan said. Number 2 is edify your team, edify your mentor, edify what you're doing, okay? So at the moment, I'm helping a group of wellness entrepreneurs from America, UK, New Zealand, expand a health company from the US into Indonesia, and we're looking for other, whoever they are, right? Other health people, fitness people, beauty-focused people to help us grow the brand, okay? And then you say, you have two options here. One, you can either send this message and then send the second one separately. Okay, sometimes that's a little bit better because if the message looks too long, sometimes it seems a little bit weird, right? So you can send this one and then follow up right away saying, this may or may not be for you. Okay, that takes the pressure off. This is very important. Okay, you say to the person, this may or may not be for you. Okay, so they feel like you're not trying to sell them something, you're not trying to get them to join anything, right? This may or may not be for you, but based on what I can see on your profile, I think that you would be a good fit for what we're looking for. Okay, so again, they feel validated that you're messaging them. And then this is the magic one, okay? Are you open to new opportunities? And then boom, you just send that. Make sense? Okay? It's very simple. Do not overcomplicate this process. If you send, boom, boom. If you send this to 10 people, you're gonna get at least 4 or 5 people responding to you. Okay? And because you're doing this part at the moment, you're helping a group of other people grow the business. It's not about you. Okay? So a lot of people have fear. Well, what if they ask me questions? Okay? What if they ask me, what is USANA? Okay? Don't worry about that, because exactly what Dan was saying earlier, while you're doing the invite, okay, you're building into the invite that you're working with other people. Okay, so when they ask you questions, you can actually say to them, actually, I'm not an expert. I'm just helping these guys grow. Let me introduce you to them and they can answer all of your questions. Okay, so you're constantly putting the focus on somebody else. Or the videos that we have in USANA are amazing. You can actually say, look, I'm not an expert, but let me send you a short video that can explain a little bit about the company and the products and the opportunity. And then you can watch that and let me know if you're interested to learn more. Okay, you can edify the video. So your job is to edify your team, edify your mentor, edify a video, just edify something else, third party. Okay, it takes all the pressure off of you. Okay, and then most likely they're going to say some version of, I'm not sure if I have the time, but I'm interested, tell me more, or interesting with like a little thinky face, like tell me more about what you're talking about. Okay, it'll be usually it's some version of that. Maybe they'll ask you a question where they're like, well, I'm not sure I'm interested, but tell me more about your project. Something like that, okay? So, but if they say that they're open to new opportunities, then the next step is very simple. You just book a quick 3-way call with your mentor, or you schedule an appointment. Yeah.
I get this a lot. Their quick answer was, is it MLM?
That's right.
Yeah.
How do we answer that?
No.
How do we answer that?
No.
No.
Yeah. So if they say no, you say no, and then you can actually give a little laughy face, right? No, ha ha ha. I get that a lot. It's not.
They get scared.
They get scared sometimes. And the thing is, it's a valid question, right? A lot of you guys know Isogenics is a big company that just closed in Indonesia. Okay, it's pretty rare for a big company like that to close in Indonesia, but there's all these really not so good MLM companies that are out there that are constantly trying to recruit people, and they sell really not so good products, right? So people are tired of money games. They're tired of that whole thing. You can actually say to someone very honestly that this is not MLM, because what they're talking about is it money games? So you say, no, it's not like that. Let me introduce you to my business. Sorry?
If they ask you what.
Yeah, if they keep pressing you, you can say, look, we're a network marketing company that uses direct sales. We're looking for people to help us grow. If you have more questions, I can introduce you to my business partner who handles that side of it. Okay? So what you're essentially doing is you're letting them know that you're helping someone build a business, and that's not really your job. Yeah, you say, look, it's pretty complicated. Let's just jump on a 5-minute call. Okay, let them know. Let's jump on a 5-minute call. I'll introduce you to my business partner. He can explain more.
This is about a product. It's not MLM. This is about a product.
Yeah, I mean that's if they push you a little bit. But I don't. For you guys, I just want you to say, it's not. Let me introduce you to my business partner, like that. Because if you start answering their questions, it's not going to go well. They're going to keep pushing you, and they're going to keep they're going to ask more questions, more questions. Ultimately, what you want is for them to get on a call with your mentor so they can answer all of their questions. For example, if I try to explain to somebody why USANA is not a traditional network marketing, an MLM company over a text message, they're gonna think that I'm full of BS. But if I can talk to them one-on-one and they can see my face and they can hear my communication, almost never is the person gonna think that I'm full of BS. They will understand what I'm saying when I explain to them the difference between MLM and what we do at USANA. It's very easy for me to talk to the person if I can look in their eyes and we can have that conversation. But over text messages, it doesn't go well. So you never want to answer questions over text messages because people make up stories. They decide in advance whether this is something that they're interested in or not, and that's not what you want.
Can I share something as well?
Sure.
So one thing as well is when someone does reply and they seem interested, like I can sometimes get a bit excited. Yay!
Sure.
So sometimes when someone replies positively to me, I forget all of this because I get super excited. I'm like, yay, great, someone's keen. And then I just want to share, and I want to do the presentation over text message. But as you see in the GoPro, some of you have read the book, there's different steps. The inviting is the inviting. The names list is the names list. The presenting is the presenting. Don't present too early. Okay? Get excited? Great. Send them a message, get them to watch the video or get them to book a meeting.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, so as soon as you start explaining anything, you're now presenting. Okay? If they ask you a question, great question. It's in the video. Great question. My business partner can give you a really great answer to that. Great question. Always validate their question and then let them know that whatever you're scheduling, whether it's the video or the call or the meeting, they're going to learn everything that they need to learn.
And if someone gives you an objection, it's actually just a question.
Yeah, good.
So that's something you can say, oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
It's not an objection.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've made this mistake, right? Somebody asks me, oh, is this MLM? And I immediately go into defending, no, it's not, and why it's blah, blah. And at the end, they're like, oh, actually, I like MLM. Or I don't have any problem with that.
Is it the same as Herbalife?
I just assumed, yes, it's the same as Herbalife or whatever. Meanwhile, they love the Herbalife shakes or they have friends that have been really successful in that. You don't know what they're thinking, so don't react to those questions. A question is very different than an objection. And even if somebody gives you an objection, they're talking to you. Okay? Somebody that has no interest, they just won't respond. So if somebody is interacting with you, it's good. So even if you get an objection, say, good, an objection.
Because it's actually just a question in disguise.
Yeah, they're looking for, do you know your stuff? Can you answer my questions? Okay?
They're asking the price. Some of them, they're asking the price first.
So if they're asking the price, that means that you've already said too much. So if they're asking for the price, that means that you've already been talking about that it's a product. Yeah, so it means that you've already talked too much.
If you see on the script here, it doesn't say USANA and it doesn't say something.
Yeah.
So far.
At this point, you're not even telling them that this is USANA. right? You're just letting them know you're working with a team, a group of wellness entrepreneurs who are expanding a health company into Indonesia, and we're looking for people to help us grow. Are you open to new opportunities? Okay? And sometimes you don't have to talk about USANA like that. If they're pressing you, your intention here is not to hide anything. Okay, so you're not trying to hide something. Never avoid their questions or be evasive. That's not the point. If they really push you, you can let them know, this is USANA Health Sciences. We're a cellular nutrition company from America. If you have more questions, I can send you a short video.
So when you're chatting to someone at the beginning, we're actually not selling USANA. So this stage is I'm selling Nathan, I'm selling a video, I'm selling a Celavive party. I'm actually not selling Celavive, I'm selling the party. I'm not selling the actual brand. So in normal chit-chat conversation that we have with our friends and our girls, we go straight to USANA and supplements. But this is actually slowing down the process and selling Nathan and selling Mia and selling Eva and selling all our coaches. So it's slower, but it gives you more posture. It will then create more curiosity, because curiosity, maybe Nathan speak about, is important.
Yeah, you want them intrigued, okay, but not making up their mind. Okay, so if they're asking you questions about what is the product, what is the blah, what is the price, like that, that means they're trying to make up their mind before they even figure out what it actually is. Okay, so for example, price is very different than value. Okay, so if somebody's looking at price, but they don't get that we're medical grade nutrition, they don't get that we're FDA approved, they don't get the bigger picture, then a price is just a price, right? But if they understand the quality of USANA is totally different than anything they've seen before, then what they're looking at is the value, not the price. But if they're in their room alone looking at the price list and you're not there to help them understand, you're probably gonna lose that person. Because the reality is the cost of our supplements are higher than a lot of the other ones that are on the market. And there's a reason for that. And if they know the reason, they can make an educated decision. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So I don't want to get too much more complicated. If the person, so if they're okay here, then you want to just book the time. Okay, and if they're not free for a call right now, then you can schedule the appointment. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about this? I've also Google translated into Bahasa, so for the people that need the.
Because one of the aim is to book the time, I think we should go until like how to book if your coach is next to you, if not.
Yeah, so if your mentor is free or they're with you right now, then you just get them on a call right now.
Like now we can do it
right now.
We have our
today. Yeah, we're here. So you can say, and it's not, you're not doing a presentation, right? So it's a 5-minute strategy session or discovery call. Hey, are you available for 5 minutes right now? So we can share a little bit of information and you can decide whether you want to hear more, okay? Because if you can get somebody on a call right now, first of all, they can see the boule, we can show them around the office, it's a beautiful office. Immediately, this starts creating posture in their mind. It creates curiosity, right? That's ultimately what you want. And then I'll say on the call, listen, I'm not talking to you today to try to sell you or anything or to get you to join anything. I just wanted to meet you today to figure out if this is something that might be interesting to you and answer any questions that you might have right now. Ultimately, all I'll do is schedule a time to meet them in person. Okay? So the discovery session at the beginning is to figure out, is the person serious? And then to show them, this is the real deal. Does that make sense?
Sometimes even if your upline's not around, like you two could be, like, for example, Mia knows her stuff and Eva knows her stuff, but maybe Nathan's on a call. Mia could introduce Eva, or Eva could introduce Mia. It doesn't have to physically be the upline in the tree who actually does the call. So someone might be better at, if someone's a yoga instructor, introduce them to the yoga instructor. If someone's a doctor, introduce them, or like, it doesn't have to be just your mentor.
Yeah.
That's best, but always do edification, always do the triangle.
Yeah, I edify my downline all the time. I edify Mia, Jennifer, Ava. It doesn't matter to me, right? Edification, the person doesn't know us from a hole in the wall. If you say that we are who we are, then they just trust that.
I had a chat with an Isogenics person the other day, and they're like, "Oh, so you're a diamond director and you sponsored Regina?" And in my head, I was like, "Oh man!" I was like, "Oh no, I'm not actually. They sponsored me." But it was people don't know. People don't know.
Okay, so now just very quickly, okay? Again, this is my wording. Okay, you can change it a little bit based on how you talk. Okay, but follow the basic structure. Okay, now this is cold market. I would love for some of you to also work on your hot market. So hot market is people that you already know. Okay, now I want to teach you, the hot market is super easy. Okay, it's much easier than this actually, because all you're going to do with somebody that you already have a relationship with is say, hey, if say it's Mia, hey Mia, hope you're doing okay. Do you have like 5 minutes? I want to share something exciting with you. That's it. Okay. So this one's much easier. Okay, so you want to get them on a call right away. Okay, now this is gonna maybe it'll get your heart going a little bit. Okay, but this part's really easy because you're gonna get them on a call, and then basically you just let them know that you're working. It's the same thing. You're working with a group of wellness entrepreneurs from the U.S. and you're working on a project with them, and you're looking for people to help grow the brand, and you love them, and you wanted to see if they're also open to an opportunity. You can just say, like for example, Mimi, you just came back from the U.S., right? You've seen the manufacturing facility, you've seen Kevin Guest, you've seen the leadership. Your belief is extremely high. Yeah, so you can actually share with people. You want them to hear from you, right? I'm so excited about this opportunity. Again, this may or may not be for you, but I would love to have a coffee with you and explain to you a little bit more about what we're doing and see if it's something that you might be interested in. Okay? You're always taking the pressure off, keeping it open. I'd love to have a coffee with you, share a little bit of information, and see if it's something that you might be interested in. Just keep taking the pressure away. They will say yes.
Always.
They will say yes.
Always.
Yeah.
Because I have very hard friend. Very
Hard?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just saying to her, I have 5 minutes. I have just 5 minutes to sharing my experiencing with Kevin Guest.
The best CEO in the
Yes,
world.
the best CEO, 3 times in a row. Really, Mimi? Yes. But 5 million Usana. I just say Usana in 5 minutes because of Usana, I'm going to America. But you pay with your own money, right? Yes, of course. We are going to Oprah Winfrey. We pay.
Right.
Oh, okay. 10 million Mimi. Okay. So I'm sharing the photo, and after that, I just sharing a little bit about Usana.
Yeah.
They took off.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so if they are people that know you, you have that relationship already, you can talk about Usana if you want. Okay.
Yeah.
The important thing is when it's people that you know, like, and trust, that they also know, like, and trust you. The important thing is you're just open and you're excited.
Yeah, the problem with Usana method with me is very difficult, yeah, because all of my friends, all of my best friends, all of my family know that Usana is an LM. So they are just end up by users.
Yeah.
Yes. So I already recruiting from cold market.
Yeah.
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 Nobody in my family want to join because this is MLM.
Yeah.
I'm trying to discussing blah 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 blah, but there is the Google.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it okay?
Of course, yeah. A lot of the, so for those of you who go on to become gold directors, ruby directors, diamond directors, most of your business will come from cold marketing. Yeah.
Really?
Your family will more often than not become users. They're going to be customers. That's 100% okay. Customers are extremely important. Actually, customers are what make your business solid. If your business is all distributors, it can be very up and down because they can quit, leave, stop, whatever. If you have a lot of customers in your business, it makes your business very strong. Customers are extremely important. So if you say to your family, when it came to my family, I always told them, listen, I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm not asking you to join my business. All I want is 5 minutes to share with you a little bit about what I'm doing, and then you can decide whatever you want. But because you have that relationship with them, they'll grant you that time. And then a lot of time what happens is they're like, oh wow, this is pretty amazing. And then you focus on the product. Because if they're afraid of MLM, that's no problem. You just focus on the product with them. Share with them about the product. Get them on the product. And then just like Dr. Sumit, who was here for the business summit, almost everyone in his business, he starts with the products. And he transitions them into business people later. So one of the beauties of USANA is because the product is so good, generally speaking, if people get on the products, they're not going off. And if they really like how they feel, they want you to meet their grandma, they want you to meet their friend. And that's when you start planting the seed that, listen, it's amazing that you're introducing me to your friends. By the way, this is this is the business. The business is just introducing us to people that you think could use the product. So don't worry about that too much.
Yeah, because no one in my family joined USANA until now, but they love the product so much.
Yeah.
They just reducing the business. Yeah. But the products they love so much.
Yeah. The business is not for everyone.
Yes.
The products are for everyone. The business is not for everyone. I've been in the business for 5 years. In the first 2 years that I was in the business, I was a little bit scared to talk to people in my family, and the ones that I did talk to said no. But now, everyone in my family uses the products.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everyone in my family uses the products.
Yes, everyone in my family using the product, but they still refusing the business.
Yes.
Now, in every gatherings in my family, happen, look at that, we need the MLM.
Yes.
Really, because we are from the business, really pushy family.
Yeah.
Look at that, the MLM sitting there.
Yeah.
But they love the products. So.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
Yes.
And ultimately, what you'll find is that story that they have about the MLM or whatever. As long as you stay in the business and you keep doing what you're doing, your results that you produce over time will change their mind. It doesn't mean that they'll do the business, but they'll stop gossiping about you. Because they'll see, actually, you're helping grandma, you're helping auntie, you're helping people with their health, so they'll stop talking.
And USANA is long-term focused, right? We don't have huge bonuses for catching people. It's about the consistent flow of points and products that go through the business in the future.
The product is very good.
Yeah. So ultimately, what gives you power is you don't care whether they say yes or no.
Yes, I just don't care.
Yeah. So this process that we want to do with you each week, we want to really teach you, follow the process, and just go through as many numbers as possible. Meet people, new people. Because if you're talking to 40 people, 1 or 2 people are going to make no difference. If 10 people say no, it doesn't matter because you have 30 other people to talk to.
Yes.
Right? If you're only talking to 4 people and 2 of them say no, it's like a really big deal, right? Because that's half of the people that you've talked to. You're like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm not good at this business. It's so hard. Blah 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 blah. Right? That's when the little voice starts talking in your ear.
Yes.
But if you're doing this and you become a professional in terms of the contacting and inviting, all of that stuff will go away because you have too many things to focus on. Okay. I have the Bahasa here. So these are the scripts here in Bahasa. So what we want for everybody to do is pick one platform. So if you're going to do cold market, pick one platform, Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, okay? And set a target for, say, 15 new people, or something like that. Either between 10 and 20 new people. We want you to not leave this room today without having contacted at least 10 new people and sent them the message. Okay? And if you're going to use Facebook this week, you can do Instagram next week. And you can do LinkedIn the week after that. Okay? Just focus on one each week. And if you have any questions, then I'm here. Okay? So whatever, our goal, you're not going to get this perfect, right? That's not our intention, is that you're going to get this perfect. We want you to learn step by step how to do this process. And also to break through your fear of anything. Yeah. This is the thing that people are scared of more than anything else. And as soon as you get over the fear, this fear, your business will explode. Okay?
Okay.
Does anybody have any other questions or anything before we get started? Make sure that you have a piece of paper, or if you have the GoPro book, your new people that you contact today, write their name down. Yes. Good, Eva. So today, Eva, what platform do you want to use today?
Facebook, Instagram,
LinkedIn. Okay, so you want to use Facebook. So what I want to see from you before you leave today is a list of between 10 and 20 new people that you've met on Facebook that you sent at least this message to. New people.
And one thing with Facebook, which is nice, is on the message group, you can see the green button for who is online now. So if you do want people to reply quickly, you can scroll through that and go, oh yeah, I haven't messaged them, haven't messaged them, haven't messaged them.
Yeah, also on Facebook, just so you know, on the bottom right-hand corner,
Yes.
if you're looking on your phone, there's 3 little lines. If you click on that and you hit friends, it says suggested friends, okay? Anybody that's a suggested friends, it means either that person has looked at your profile or you have many mutual friends, okay? Or, this is the scary part, somehow you've been talking about them, or they've been talking about you, and Siri or Alexa can hear.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a little bit freaky.
Even talking or...
So I'll just one example. One day I met someone that I had never met before. We were not friends on any social media, and there was no text message or anything. I was just talking to somebody about, hey, I met this person, right? Boom, they popped up in my suggested friends list. Somehow Facebook knew that I had just met this person at a networking event, and it really freaked me out a little bit, but it's the world that we're living in. So that's a really good, as freaky as that is, it actually helps you, because it gives you suggested friends. So it can be people that you know, but you haven't talked to about Usana yet. So it doesn't have to be strangers, but it's up to you. Yeah.
So last thing for me is that I'm a bit of an analytical perfectionist. I won't send the message sometimes unless it's the perfect message. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect.
Yeah.
A 90% good message is enough. The fact that you send the message, like I do I link, I press add to them, I'm about to send a message, and then I'm like, oh, should I message Nathan to see what to say? Whereas actually then I don't message the person. Just message the person, and then what flows out from it will flow out from it.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be perfect. It's still going to be a lot better than the average person, because most people don't know the scripts and the GoPro.
Yeah. You'll get better over time. when me and Deep and Simmer, when we went silver at the same time, like 3 years ago. We sent to like 100 people this giant long message about Dr. Wentz, the athletes, Dr. Oz. And now when I think back on that, I'm like, oh my God, like no one responded, obviously, because it's like a whole presentation in one message, okay? So luckily, you have us that can help you in this process, and you don't have to make those same mistakes. Okay, so we'll put a little bit of music on, and you guys really want to challenge yourself today, okay? At least 10. If you could do more, do more.
Should we stop the video online?
Yeah, so for those of you who are in internet land, if you have any questions or anything, or you need help with anything, you can put in the STI group. We'll go ahead and log off of the Zoom meeting now. But hope that you got some value. Love you. Have fun, and we'll see you next week, same time.
Johanna's the guy just messaged saying she's not joining you, summer. It's reply later. Surprisingly joined.
Oh. Okay, Pascal. Nowhere.
I have to leave now.
No.
I have a meeting.
No.
For Zana.
What time is your meeting?
1:30.
Then
And after that, I will
do at least 5 people
Okay.
right now.
1 minute, 5 people.
Kiki, let's go. Okay. Boo. This is the kind of
Yeah. My pod messaged me. And then he messaged me, and I messaged him. I have business plan with them too.
Send me a picture of you on there. Just say Dana's with you. You want to do a quick video call? Someone's got it.